Hey Sagittarius, how are you? Welcome. I am bringing you a general reading for the collective of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Happy birthday to our Saggy sons. In case you missed it, I did do a birthday reading. So that was uploaded, I want to say on December 2nd, so about 10 days ago. But at the end of this video, a thumbnail, there will be two thumbnails. One of them will be that reading. So if you haven't seen it and you want to, you can just click it from there or go to the channel and find it. So happy birthday. I hope you're having a wonderful birthday season. I'm bringing this to you on 12/12. This is an activation, an energetic portal activation on 12/12 that begins on 12/12 and closes out at solstice. So we sort of have this opportunity for one last release of anything that we don't want to carry into 2022. So keep that in mind, because that last full moon in December is going to be big. We have that, I believe, on the 18th. On the 19th, Venus stations retrograde. She's in her shadow phase now. She just passed by Pluto. So if you started to have a sinking feeling, especially in matters of the heart, Venus, that may be coming from Venus joining hands with Pluto. She'll do that 2 more times. So the next month and a half can be a little bit bumpy, just FYI. Okay, so I pulled from Starry Beginnings Oracle. You got card 31, Embrace the Dark, Shine Your True Light Upon This Earth. And what this card is telling you here, Sag, is that, there is darkness within all of us. There's shadow within all of us. It's awaiting the light. So it's time to shine your light onto those parts of yourself that you've kept hidden, even from yourself. So really positive message and perfect for the 12/12 portal. And you also perfect, you got the light body card from Sacred Light Oracle. Independence brings comfort. Past restrictions and ancestral healing are the themes of this card. I love that she's wearing a crown as the queen that you are. So light body talks about, it encapsulates your physical, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual being are all encapsulated and come together to create what we refer to as the light body. So this is Ascended Master Lady Portia asking you to act independently. And there's a quote from her that's really fabulous. I'm going to say it in a second. Totally perfect for Sagittarian energy. But what she's saying here is, independence brings balance. So releasing any codependent relationships, any codependent behaviors where you become so dependent on the other or on a certain pattern of behaviors that you lose your sense of balance, and you can kind of get caught up in, that's where all the insecurities lie. So she's really saying, find your balance and your stability from sort of withdrawing codependent energy and being more independent. And her mantra is trade your shield for an arrow. I love it. So it kind of goes back to, what's hidden? What are you shielding from? Open up, trade your shield for an arrow, which is perfect because you are the archer. Sagittarius is the centaur with the arrow. So somebody's getting a message here. The numerology, 3 and 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 is all about balance. There you go. Finding balance. Yep. Shine light on the shadow. And then, separate yourself from codependent energy. And in this 12/12 portal all the way through solstice, this is your opportunity to release anything that's holding you back, that's blocking you, or that's no longer serving you. So let's take a look at what's going on in your connection, Sag. This is good. As I said, for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, you could be here as a cross watcher. That's fine. As always, energies can sometimes come through reversed. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I hope that if you enjoy the reading, you'll join us by subscribing. Look at you, calling something in. Ships coming in, 3 of Wands. What's the challenge here? Well, calling in some communication. That could be difficult. That could be presenting a challenge. Underneath, King of Wands. This is so perfect because the King of Wands, we've got the dual energy here. King of Wands can be Aries, Leo, Sag, but it can also be about, claiming what you want versus being unavailable. So sometimes this King of Wands shows up as an unavailable lover. Somebody that hasn't yet taken the action, hasn't determined what they want. Here you are in the past, Queen of Cups. So this is the past energy. You've learned something here about vulnerability. Queen of Cups is empathetic. She's compassionate. She's sensitive, highly intuitive, very much with an open heart. What is crowning you? Page of Cups, a message of love or apology. If just that message would come in, that's what I'm seeing here. If just this message would come in, it might be exactly what it is you've been looking for. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. If the message comes in, I feel as if everything, all the heart that you've put into it, Sag, it would feel like now it's balanced out. Now it feels worth it. Yeah. You know who I'm talking to. 10 of Swords, that side of you that says, is this worth it, right? End of a painful cycle going forward. So I do feel the 10 of Swords has already happened. There's a lot of disappointment here. Something that kind of came to an end. You possibly may not have even seen it coming to some degree, but that's over. So the 10 of Swords is almost coming through as if, you know, as you move forward, you get to clear that energy. Spirit, 7 of Wands talks about, can be standing up for yourself. The energy surrounding you, you may be unaware of, is the Queen of Swords. Your fears, hopes and fears have the Knight of Swords. And outlook, wow. Potential going forward, 8 of Cups. Let me see, I think that 8 of Cups was, hang on one second, Sag. Yeah. In the morning musing, that 8 of Cups was here with the Tower. So for those of you that have kind of already gone through something very difficult and challenging, we know that that cycle has ended, but it's what you do with it. It's how you know, how you come to terms with it. Do you leave the drama behind and just stay on your path and, you know, serve your highest good? Do you walk away from the connection altogether? Or are you going in search of something new? That might be the question that remains unanswered. 3 of Wands, 8 of Wands. Page of Cups. Yes, you're waiting. You're waiting for this communication. This message of love or apology. I feel like it's apology. We have the 10 of Swords. This is the second time that the Page of Cups is out. I feel like you kind of opened your heart and got raked over the coals a little bit. So if you could get this communication, if this communication could come in, I feel like you've waited long enough. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. You get it. If you've waited long enough, what you're waiting for is the message of love or apology for something that you found very hurtful. And there's a challenge around the communication. So far, it hasn't shown up. It hasn't made itself known. Yes, King of Wands with the 6 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and the Lovers. What's roaming around in your psyche here, Sag, is, you know, really kind of curious. Is this person do they even want what I want? Are they invested in this connection? Are they ready to take that next step toward me? We've got the 6 of Cups, lots of warmth and nostalgia, and you're feeling very attracted to this person, but you're not sure that that's being received, that it's being met with equal measure, that it's being chosen. My gosh, you get what I'm saying. It's like a bazillion degrees here. I'm distracted by the heat. Queen of Cups. Yeah. You opened your heart, and I feel like there's the shadow. There's embrace the dark. There's the moon, scared the you-know-what out of you, and underneath is the sun. It's exactly what came out in this card right here. Shine your light upon this earth. Your light is here in the sun. I feel like whatever has gone down, you were emotionally open and available and vulnerable. And in your vulnerability, and you got triggered by all this dark energy. I'm not sure the dark energy is necessarily yours or was necessarily yours at the start, but it's there now. It's there now because you trusted. Because you trusted and you extended yourself here, Sag, and you didn't get the happiness you signed on for. Look at the two of them looking at each other, right? If you think about the lovers when they grow up, when they're young and then they grow up. And I'm sort of feeling like you thought that was where you were headed, that this would mature, that this would grow into something that would yield a lot of happiness. And there was a lot of hidden, darker energy. And it shoved you into the shadows, sort of how it feels. So Page of Cups is what's crowning you. This is where you would get the strength to bring about your desired outcome. Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Yeah, I think you would totally open up to this person if they came in with a sincere message. If they came in to speak from their heart, it would provide that anchoring, that stability. You could see the two of you moving forward together in some more committed fashion. You do see this person as the love of your life. And there's the Knight of Pentacles underneath. Slow and steady. You won't be in a rush. If this person does return, it's not like it would be flipping a light switch. You know that it would take time to anchor it a bit, to give it the stability that it needs. I like the Knight of Pentacles. It says that you're kind of proceeding with caution, that you're being more intentional and deliberate. It's not the normal impulsive Knight of Wands energy. I feel like you're really eyes wide open here. Ten of Swords, future, seven, an end of, yeah, I feel whatever the painful cycle was, it involved either some measure of avoidance or a perceived betrayal. And betrayal doesn't always have to be like the liar, cheater, stealer stuff that comes with the Seven of Swords. Sometimes the Seven of Swords is somebody talking out of two sides of their mouth, telling you what you want to hear and then going in another direction and avoiding the truth of the situation completely. And that's what I think happened. And I almost get the impression that, you get to decide if you're going to sort of offload this. And remember I said 12-12 portal to solstice, then somewhere in there we have the full moon. Yeah, you have to decide if you're ready to offload it, if you're ready to close out that cycle. And it feels to me like it'll be a crossroads moment. And underneath is the Seven of Wands, which we have right here from Spirit. So I'm going to look at the message from Spirit first before I give you my impression of this particular Seven of Wands. Since it's under the deck, it is in your psyche, maybe outside of your conscious awareness. My question is, are you resisting letting go of this difficult, challenging past where you may have felt betrayed or where someone's avoidance became so painful that it did a number on you, it broke your heart? They avoided communication, they avoided conversation, they didn't come to claim the love or the passion or whatever, left you sitting in shadow and darkness. And now you're trying to come out of it and you're saying a simple word, just come forward. Speak your truth and speak from your heart, and then we can move forward. But there's something here that leads me to believe you may not be ready to let go of it after all. So let's see what the Seven of Wands says. Yeah. So Spirit's telling you there are new opportunities. This was your birthday message. Your birthday message was about a new and or improved love. So someone totally new or up-leveling of your connection. And here's, this divine gifts of commitment, stability, up-leveling here in 3D, passion, inspiration. And then Spirit saying, be careful be careful, because your resistance could create too much conflict. I'm feeling like the Seven of Wands is not just resistance, there's a little bit of defensiveness here that could create some conflict. And I feel like the conflict was there in the past. It's not there right now because there's no communication, or very little. And if there is communication, like you're walking around the whole darn thing, nobody's dealing with it directly. There's this sort of avoidance. Let's not name it, shall we? And there's this Ace of Pentacles. We're offering you this new beginning. We're giving you the motivation and the impetus to take action with it. But if you stay with your heels dug in and stubborn and resistant and defensive and defiant, there will be too much conflict. And therefore, the Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Wands can't work in your favor, can't work on behalf of the connection. So that's why I'm feeling this Two of Swords is, yes, it's crossroads energy, but it's saying that the answer is within. So you need to go within to get clear. Are you open to it, or are you really defensive against it? And if you're defensive against it, it's not like there's no reason why. I'm seeing the reason why, because you opened your heart once, and yeah, it was sort of abused is the word I'm looking for. Your open-heartedness, your generosity of energy, and your kindness, and your sincerity, and your sweetness, and your love and adoration were taken for granted. And the happiness that you thought was coming did in fact not. So I'm not saying that the Seven of Wands doesn't make sense. Totally makes sense. I'm just saying, Spirit's telling you, get it out of the bottom of the deck. This is the shadow. Embrace the dark, and then shine your true light upon it. So what is this Seven of Wands really about for you, Sag? And once you bring it out of the darkness, right? Sunlight's the best disinfectant. You won't have to live with that energy anymore. It's like a purging. Queen of Swords is the energy that surrounds you may be unaware of. So I kind of feel like there's somebody else that may be in the mix here. There could be third-party energy. It doesn't have to be that. It really doesn't. But I almost feel as if the Queen of Swords and the Empress are not the same person. Like the Queen of Swords is, in this case, very cold, very calculating, very cutting. And here is divine feminine energy and all your radiant glory and unconditional love. And there's the challenge, is that two's company, three's a crowd. And there are a lot of regrets about that. Someone's got some deep regrets. Could be this King of Wands has deep regrets about that, about the divine feminine kind of getting cut out. For whatever however that speaks to you, Sag, that's what's coming through. This is all going on behind the scenes. You may be unaware that somebody's really steeped in some regret as to how that all unfolded. And I'm saying that because the Three of Cups and the Devil, with this little Queen of Swords just looking innocent here with all her roses, yeah, not so much. I feel there's a lot of karmic energy swirling around that may have involved an outside source. Five of Wands is often a conflict that comes from outside circumstances, and that may be what you're defending against. And we have the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords. So every time I look down, I see another reason to back up the third party energy. If that is not your storyline, then this part of the reading may not speak to you. But for those of you that it is, this is telling you that somebody is sort of processing some deep regret about how that all unfolded. Knight of Swords. In your hopes and or fears. Like, yeah. You just freaking want to talk about it. You just want, like, the truth. Right? So you can kind of unburden yourself. Knight of Swords, Ten of Wands. Just tell me the truth. And you're even feeling a little sense of urgency around that, because you know, you can sense this is your opportunity to offload all this ick once and for all, and you're stuck and trapped by it, because unless and until somebody speaks truth to it, you can't let it go. You're kind of you're kind of stuck in the middle here. I feel almost as if I can hear you say, yeah, I don't have a dog in the fight. Like I was cut out. I'm over here. I was cut out. I was dealt with very unfairly. I was betrayed, or I was like you avoided me to such a degree that I'm like invisible now. So I'm just stuck here. I can't make the first move. It has to come from you, and then I can kind of offload it. In the meantime, I'm doing my own thing. The Hermit underneath suggests that you may be kind of a little reclusive, a little remote, sort of working on yourself, focused on yourself. This is all about personal growth, self-awareness, introspection, taking the time on this solitary portion of your journey to really get a handle on who you are at your core. And, all to serve your highest good, but then to also light the path for others. So in some aspects, you're using this time where you've been kind of shut out and left to your own devices. You're using it wisely, but you're also admitting here, my fear is that I'm stuck and I'm not going to be able to move forward. That's not true. You are moving forward. You just don't realize the growth that's taking place. It is happening. And the potential outcome going forward is this Eight of Cups. Yeah. Well, you definitely do need to be true to yourself. So now I'm saying that for the second time. That's the Hierophant. This is all about, knowing yourself really well. This Hermit and the Hierophant, getting to know yourself so well and your true beliefs. What does commitment mean to you? Who are you at your core? What do you stand for? And what won't you tolerate? Right, this is you at your core. And here we have the Eight of Cups with the Four of Wands and the Five of Swords. And it's almost like walking away from the false twin, walking away from someone who has sort of peed on your leg and told you it's been raining. Somebody that blew it all up and made you feel like everything was wonderful, when in fact there was definitely karmic energy and dark shadowy energy playing out behind the scenes. And I'm not saying that it was intentional. Hear me out. I'm not saying it was intentional. I'm saying that this person's level of honesty with themselves is what creates that domino effect, right? When someone is dishonest with themselves, when someone is operating from ego and doesn't even realize it, and they boom, touch that first domino, it just runs through the whole thing. That's what I think you're seeing here, is like, yeah, I got caught up in something. What I thought was a thing is not a thing. And I kept being told, you're crazy, I kept being gaslighted. Like, oh, no. Yeah, this is what we said it is. This is how I feel, blah, blah, blah. But they never came to claim the connection. They never came to claim it. And they have never really spoken to it. So I do feel on some level, you're going to have an opportunity to be very clear about what you want and what you don't want, what you stand for, what you will not tolerate. And you may just go on your merry way and release this whole thing. 10 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 2 of Swords. Am I like, do I continue moving forward? Do I not continue moving forward? That 7 of Wands here is now saying, yeah, there are new opportunities potentially waiting for you. Sure, is there a potential up-leveling in this connection? I'm not going to say that there's not, but there's also potentially brand new beginnings for you in a totally new direction, new passion lurking right around the corner. So don't spend a lot of time in defense mode and in resistance mode. Don't buy in to what somebody's trying to sell you here. Don't get into it with anybody. Cut it loose is what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. The energies that came through for you here, we have Gemini, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Capricorn, Pisces, Leo, Virgo. Queen of Swords can be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Taurus, and Libra in the Empress. More Virgo and Taurus. And if this is resonating for you, Sag, and you want to see how the other side of the story, how the person you're dealing with, how they're showing up in the reading, their thoughts and impressions about this whole situation, how they see everything, how they feel about you, their intentions going forward. That's what you can expect in the extended. They're pretty much just about as in-depth as these readings are, so the link is below. I hope to see you there. Otherwise, Sag, all the best to you for your next trip around the sun. Sending so much love, and I'll see you in a future reading. Bye for now.